In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Excel to calculate these descriptive statistics. When we talk about descriptive statistics, it is a summary statistic that quantitatively describes or summarizes features from a collection of information or observations. And some measures that are commonly used to describe a data set are the measures of central tendency and the measures of variability or dispersion. And measures of central tendency include the mean, median, and mode. And when you talk about measures of variability, that include range, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum values of the variables. So let's begin by calculating the mean of this data set. And before you do that, the first step is to type in your data values into Excel. So you want to open your Excel file, and under the first column, that is what I'm going to use. You can either enter the data values under any column that you prefer. It could be under B, C, D, or E, but I am using the first column, which is column A. So I'm going to start by typing in these data values under column A. All right, so now that is done. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and calculate the mean of this data set. And in calculating mean of a data set using Excel, we use the Excel function equal average. And you always want to begin with the equal to sign, because that tells Excel you want to do some calculations. Without the equal to sign, you wouldn't be able to type in these Excel functions. So you begin with equal to sign, and we want to calculate mean, so we're going to use the equal average function. So the moment you start typing in average, it's going to pop up for you in the list. And you put your cursor on the first data value you have, which is the 87, and you want to use your control key to drag it all the way to the last data value, which is the 90. You want to close your parenthesis and you hit your enter, and that calculates the mean for this data set. The next descriptive statistic is the median. So in calculating median, we use the equal median function in Excel. You put your cursor on the first data value, drag it all the way to the last data value, close the parenthesis, and you hit enter, and that calculates the median for this data set. And to find the mode, we use the equal mode function in Excel. You put your cursor on the first data value, drag it all the way to the last data value, close it, close the parenthesis, and hit enter, and that calculates the mode for the data set. And for standard deviation, we use equal STDEV. You select that, you put your cursor on the first data value and drag it all the way to the last data value, close the parenthesis and hit enter, and that calculates your standard deviation for you. Next, we're going to calculate the maximum value in this data set. So we type in equal max. That is the Excel function used in calculating maximum value of a data set. Put your cursor on the first data value, drag it all the way to the last data value, close the parenthesis and hit enter, and that is the maximum value of this data set. And to find the minimum value of this data set, we use the equal min function in Excel. You put your cursor on the first data value, drag it all the way to the last data value, close the parenthesis and hit enter, and that calculates the minimum value of the data set. And the last thing we're going to look at is the range. And to calculate range is the maximum value minus the minimum value. And since we've already calculated our maximum and the min value, we're just going to reference a cell that contain our maximum and the minimum value. So we're going to reference cell A16, that is the maximum value, minus we're going to reference cell A17, that is the cell that contains our minimum value. You hit enter and that calculates your range for you. Alright, so these are the Excel functions we use in calculating these descriptive statistics.